Good evening, race fans, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, riffraff and riffraffers, whatever. Welcome to WFO Racing Network, Eighmey Contracting Truck Series on Wicked Wednesday. We'll get to it right after this.
Nothing could surprise you. You thought you'd seen everything, but you never saw me coming. All eyes on me, ready or not, I'm making waves. Ready or not, you can't escape. Ready or not, I'm on my way. You can't stop what I got. Ready or not, ready or not. On you best get moving. I'm about to change the game. Go ahead, try to outrun me. It's all the same. Ready or not, I'm making waves. Ready or not, you can't escape. Ready or not, I'm on my way. You can't stop what I got. Ready or not, ready or not. Can't escape, ready or not, I'm on my way. You can't stop what I got, ready or not. Here I come, so you better get ready, get ready. Something big is about to go down. Ready or not, ready or not, ready or not.
And there we go. There we go. We're about ready to get ready. Wait, we're about ready to get ready. No, we're about ready to get set and go. Yeah, green lamps. Yeah. Anyway, you know what we're here for. That's why we're here. Anyway, 36 trucks on the track tonight. including but not limited to Rick Fagone, Richard Holland, Keaton Tripp, Chuck Sweeney, Burt Wilson, Vern Bradley, Andrew Wagner, Glenn Jameson, Jacob Daniels, Tommy Haynes, Michael McCulley, Steve Seegers, TJ Lee. Elsie Daly will be joining us tonight. Roy Hyde, Nick Hunt, Randy Showers, Brandon Showers, Dustin German. There's a new name. Kristen Blanchard, Travis Smith, Hal Eighmey from Eighmey Contracting, who is sponsoring this race here tonight. And, yeah, my shit just went all crazy on me. Where was I? Stephen Blankenship, Ivan Jones, Andrew Wagner, Austin Wagner, B.J. Mitchell, Steve Siegel, Brian Beach, Chuck Sweeney, Elsie Daly, Brian Miskell Jr., Travis Smith, Jacob, I already said Jacob, Paul Patterson, Chris Blanchard, Mike McCulley, Glenn Jameson, Rick Fagone, Chris Spencer, Aaron Cummings will be here tonight, Tommy Haynes, TJ Lee, Randy Showers, Richard, I already mentioned. Yeah. Anyway, 36 trucks on the track. It went crazy on me. It's not my fault. Ray Chest is also going to be here. Rylan Neese, John Wimbish, John Sanu, Vern Bradley. I think that's going to do it. As we get ready to get going on the racing, they're all going to be taking the track. There we go right there. Yeah, is the 29 of Dustin German. Anyway, race fans, how are we doing tonight? We are suffering a pretty big dust storm here at the booth. In the boot. Not in the booth, but outside the booth. You know what I mean. 14 of Vern Bradley out there running a lap. Yep. Andrew Wagner in the 44. Multicolored tonight. Austin Wagner with a standard blue and white. Looks like he's got a little bit better connection tonight, but where do you even come up with colors like that? Oh, that's Ghost. Okay. Seth Steele in the 66 and his Nestle Quick. Brian Beach out there in 18. Mountain Dew Blast. Rick Fagone so far running the fastest lap out there with a 29.56 at 191 miles an hour. Burt Wilson following it up with a 29.57. Jacob Daniels just turning in a 29.52. Keaton Tripp is out there. Chuck Sweeney. Chuck Sweeney turning a 29.51, sitting on the pole tonight so far. Andrew Wagner, 29.45. In a Toyota? Come on, man. Come on, man. Well, that's going to clear the stage there. Here we go with the 16 of Steve Seegers. And the 53 of Ivan Jones is out there. Tommy Haynes out there running around in that NVIDIA. John Sanu in the 86 running his hot laps in there, and so is Chris Spencer in the number 11. Sounds like he's coasting. It sounded like he was coasting. Let's see. We got BJ Mitchell, Spencer. Okay, it looks like they're all going back in, getting ready for the lineup. I hear somebody out there. What the hell? Oh, that'd be Mr. John Sanu in the 86. Another Toyota. Toyota. Yes, that was my impression of. Yeah, whatever. And obviously, it's not a very good impression. All right. Yep. That should do it. We'll get our qualifying list up here, and sure we will. Sure we will. Momentarily, maybe? Oh, okay. There it is. Andrew Wagner, Chuck Sweeney, Jacob Daniels, Keaton Tripp, Dustin German. Vern Bradley, going to qualify 6th tonight. Rick Fergone, 7th. Glenn Jamieson, 8th. Roy Hyde, 9th. Brandon Showers is going to round off your top 10 qualifier. And then you got Burt Wilson, Austin Wagner, Michael McCulley, Steve Seegers, Elsie Daly, Tommy Haynes, Rylan Neese, Nick Hunt, Richard Holland, and Brad Patterson. Going to round off your top 20. All right. And there you go. There's the view right there. Yep. That's Andrew Wagner in the 44 with Chuck Sweeney on the outside. Jacob Daniels in the Keaton Tripp in the next line. Dustin German and Vern Bradley going to be in row 3. Rick Fergone and Glenn Jamieson in row 4. Roy Hyde and Brandon Showers in row 5. Burt Wilson and Austin Wagner. Michael McCulley, Steve Seegers. Elsie Daly in that number 6. Tommy Haynes in the 17. Ryan Neese in the 48. Nick Hunt in the number 60. Richard Holland will be starting in the 19th spot with Brad Patterson. Brad Patterson. John Wimbish and Chris Blanchard will be lining up behind them with Ivan Jones and Brian Miskell behind them. Randy Showers, John Sanu, going to be 25th and 26th. TJ Lee and Chris Spencer lining up behind them. Seth Steele and Brian Beach in the number 18. Then you got Justin Walters and Aaron Cummings in 30th and 31st. BJ Mitchell and Travis Smith. Vern Bradley starting in the 34th tonight with Hal Eighmey, Paul Patterson, and Ray Chess Jr. 38 trucks on the track tonight. My math skills must be beneath me. I missed them too. Well, what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to put this up under 0 cautions tonight. You got Charlotte in the Eighmey Contracting Truck Series. I kill myself. 0 cautions. Man. Not sure what's going on. We got a bunch of cars out of whack here. Trucks. Bunch of trucks. Well, however it is, it's not reading properly. But we're under green. Let's do this. Okay, I'm really confused. I don't know exactly. I'm showing Rick Fergone in first with Glenn Jamieson right there in 67, but that can't be possible. Andrew Wagner right there is showing a lap down already. What? I don't know. I'm not sure. We are under caution. We're under caution already. Not really sure why we're under caution either. Well, well, I'm not sure what's going on here. There we go. Now we've got everything in discombobulated. Andrew Wagner right there, Chuck Sweeney, Jacob Daniels, Dustin German, Vern Bradley, the top five. Not really sure what happened there, but Honey Bunny, bring it home. What's up, Jank? How you doing? Warrior, how you doing tonight? Good old Honey Bunny. What's up, SoFly? I know my eyes are old, but my goodness, something just wasn't right there. What the hell? I'm showing that like 15 people crashed, and I didn't see anything. Doesn't look like a crash to me, but anyway, I think that was something happened to try to get things back in order, maybe? Or did I miss the absolute biggest crash of the night? Look, here's TJ Lee. Nope. Says he crashed. Nope. All right. All right. We're back in line here. That's all that matters. All right. We're going to try this restart. We are lined up now. Andrew Wagner in the front. Chuck Sweeney on his outside, Jacob Daniels and Dustin German in behind him, Vern Bradley and Rick Fergone. It's going to be your top six. Didn't even get a chance to get the autism awareness. Crank it up out. All right, there you go. There's the pace car. We're just going to pretend like that didn't even happen. And we're going to go anyway because it shows half the field is out. Green, green, green. Screw you. Let's do this. Let's do this. Andrew Wagner going ahead and getting a good jump on there. Chuck Sweeney is going to solidify his second place. Jacob Daniels down on the bottom. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get that autism awareness. Crank it up. Sponsored this year by RGC Motorsports. Crank it up, people. we go, there we go, there we go. We were taking a look at the Ryan Neese right there, dropping down. He got outside there and hit that outside wall a little bit. Zostand German up here in the 29. Moving up one spot to the 4 spot. Meanwhile, we got Chuck Sweeting out in front, able to get around Andrew Wagner. Andrew Wagner not backing off, though. Already 10 laps in the books. I'm not seeing anything on our end, Jake. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm watching it. I'm watching it live. I'm not seeing anything as far as bugging, but anyway, we got Rick Fragone back here in the 10 truck. He is moved up 2 spots. He's now currently in the 5th. Glenn Jameson, 63, right behind him. And Honey Bunny himself, Roy Hyde in a 00, up 2 spots into the 7th. Tommy Haynes and Steve Seegers are fighting with Brandon Showers back here for that top 10 spot. And here comes Burt Wilson. Burt Wilson and Richard Holland taking a look at the inside there of Brandon Showers. Meanwhile, the 00 up 2 spots again in 7th spot. Roy Hyde. Glenn Jameson, or Tommy Haynes, Tommy Haynes right in behind him with the NVIDIA truck. Richard Holland in the 31, down there in 12th. Elsie Daly right there in the 6 truck. Nick Hunt in behind him. Brad Patterson up 5 spots in the 28th spot to 15th right now. John Sanu running 16th. Looks like Hal Eighmey had to go into the pits. Oh yeah, okay, that went crazy. That is your race leader right there, Chuck Sweeney, and right in behind him, Andrew Wagner and Jacob Daniels. There we go, 19 laps down here at Charlotte. Not much to report on right now, but we're getting in there. Brandon Showers right here in the 23. Still able to hold off Burt Wilson and Richard Holland, but Richard Holland looks like he's going to make a move to the inside, and look at this. LZ Daly's going to try to follow him through that hole. As Richard Holland is able to make it through. And that's going to put him on coming up to the bumper of Steve Seegers in the 16. Brandon Showers racing back hard on that outside. And Burt Wilson not giving LZ Daly any room either. And there goes Brandon. He's going to dive to the inside of Steven Seegers. Says, nope, I'm not ready yet. And this race back here is all for the top 10. That 10 spot. Meanwhile, with a new truck number, here we go. We got Nick Hunt in that John Deere. He's going to be following them up in 14th. They are still battling it up. LZ Daly getting a little wobbly there, but nothing he couldn't control. Meanwhile, Richard Holland able to get by them all, diving down to the bottom, and not only did he get across that, but he got it past Steven Seegers and Burt Wilson. And now he'll be coming up to Tommy Haynes. Meanwhile, back up here in front, Chalk Sweetie's been able to go ahead and set himself up a little gap of almost 3/4 of a second over on Andrew Wagner. Haven't mentioned much of this guy, but here he is, the 14 of Vern Bradley. Currently running in 24th. Let's go ahead and take a look at why we're under caution, which surprises me. I have no idea why. Something is just not right tonight. Something is not right with the programming. And that would be me. But we are under another caution. Just not seeing it. You might be right, Jake. Looks like there is some gremlins in here in the house tonight. Anyway, everybody is down in there. Let's see, B.J. Mitchell. Yeah, it shows him is jumping into the pits. I don't know. We'll have to get it figured out. Right, Oliver? I'm not seeing anything. Nothing is showing up in the broadcast. It showed yellow flag, but then that was it. It didn't show up on the screen. It didn't call it. I don't know. It's weird. I didn't even hear it called. Did you guys hear it called? I knew something was wrong because I heard Vern Brownlee gear down. That's what brought me in. It's not even showing caution on... Yeah, just so that TJ Lee crashed, but... Okay. Well, we're going to try to get through it and do the best that we can. Anyway, Chuck Sweeting, we've got Chuck Sweeting out in front, Andrew Wagner, Rick Fergone in the 10 truck, Jacob Daniels on his outside, Glenn Jameson, Chris Spencer, Dustin German, Roy Hyde, Tommy Haynes, and Richard Holland. All going to be in your top 10. Meanwhile, I'm going to be trying to do a little bit of research on the back end and figure out what the hell. Pit truck is out. We're about to go back green here at Charlotte. Eighmey Contracting Truck Series. Green flag. Here we go. See, now I heard that. Green flag, green flag. Everybody getting back on it. And we are under caution again. All righty. Well, I don't know, folks. Eighmey's going to go. Hell, Eighmey just went around the Page truck. He's going to get his lap back. Well, so far we've run more laps under caution tonight. And the worst part about it is we don't know why. What's up, David? How you doing? Going to keep the picture up, but I'm going to restart and see if I can figure out what the hell. Be patient. All right, there we go. See if that helped out. Get us a restart there, and Chuck Sweetie is out there in the lead. Rick Fergone trying to take over that second spot. Taking a look at Christopher Spencer right there in the 11 car with the 57 of Brian Miskell behind him. Vern Bradley on the downside, along with the 56 of John T. Wimbish. '11 goes up a little high, gets down in there, gets back in front of TJ Lee. Here's Randy Showers in the 21. Meanwhile, Vern Bradley moving up to 16th spot, right alongside John T. Wimbish. Brandon Showers in his DeWalt truck right there, currently running 12th. Elsie Daly running on the outs or inside. Roy Honey Bunny Hyde. Your race leader, Chuck Sweeney. Brian Miskell in the 57 back here in 18th. Back to the 22nd spot of TJ Lee in the 34. Riding in behind Rylan Neese. Go back here and try to take a look there. There's the 81, Michael McCauley, in the pit area. I'm not showing any current times for any of these drivers. .43 laps out of 125 here at Charlotte. Yellow, yellow, yellow. See, I heard it that time. Let's take a look and see what we can see. Okay. All right, I'm not. This is not cooperating with me here. All right, well, I see Brad Patterson sitting down there in the center. Huh. Okay, well, that's that. I mean, that's what it's giving me here. Well, I got to admit, I'm about as frustrated I'm about as frustrated as a smoker without a lighter right now. It's not changing anything. Okay. Something is definitely not right. All right, well, anyway, we're going to move on. Rick Fergone, Glenn Jameson, Jacob Daniels right there, Tommy Haynes in the fourth, Brandon Showers, Elsie Daly, Burt Wilson, Vern Bradley, and John Wimbish, along with Brian Beach. Your top 10 as a pit truck jumps back in, and we're about to go back green. .47 laps out of 125. We've already had 4 cautions tonight, of which I have no idea why. Rick Fergone going ahead and getting a pretty good start, but so is Glenn Jameson. Glenn Jameson tightening it up right in there behind, and look right behind him, Jacob Daniels and Tommy Haynes. As Tommy Haynes looks to the inside of Jacob, but then decides against it, goes back up behind him. Elsie Daly is going to make it into, and we are under a yellow flag again. Burt Wilson, looks like Burt Wilson got into something, and we're not sure exactly. Here, hold on. I think this amount of trucks has broken my system here. I ain't gonna lie. Just outside the screen, it looked like, and then all hell broke loose. Yep. There we go. We might be able to take a look at it. There we go. Right there. There it is. And that is why we are under caution for the 5th time or 6th time or whatever fucking time it was. I don't know. Frustration starts to set in. Well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Hal. I appreciate it. Wow. Love you too, brother. Comes in here and the first thing he says is, what a shit show. Damn contractors. No respect, I tell you. No respect. Couldn't agree more, Ivan. Couldn't agree more. We got people crashing out on the track. We got viewers bitching at the broadcasters, talking about how bad their show is. And I mean, what kind of night out? What else could go wrong, Ivan? We'll get through it. We always do. Glenn Jameson on the inside. Jacob Daniels on the outside. Tommy Haynes and LZ Daly. And Brandon Showers is going to be your top 5 as we go to get ready to restart. All right, there we go. Pace truck is off. We're going to get through this however we can. But we're about to go back green with Glenn Jameson and Jacob Daniels. Green flag. Glenn getting a pretty good jump start there over Tommy Haynes. We've only got 54 laps down. Now we're starting to get all bunched up towards the front there. Glenn Jameson is going to go ahead and fall back as Tommy Haynes and Jacob Daniels go ahead and take the lead. Now Jacob's going to drive down to the inside of Tommy. This will be our 6th attempt of trying to get 10 laps in without a caution. Taking a look at the 75 of Chuck Sweeney with Ivan Jones on the outside of him and Nick Hunt and Rylan Neese. Andrew Wagner now diving down, and he has taken over the lead spot. As Brian Beach enters into the pit lane. '31 of Richard Holland still up 10, just now moving into the top 10. As he tries to get around John T. Wimbish. And going for John Sanu. Sure, Hal. Well, 56 is going to get a little wide. He's going to get up John Wimbish, but he's able to get control of it and drop back down in front of Chuck Sweeney. I'm assuming that's Chris Blanchard. Again, showing a number 9 on his cart. Got to get those numbers. Got to get those numbers fixed. Come on, people. Got 19 on the board and 9 on his truck. What the hell? I'm already confused. Meanwhile, Dustin German in the 29 truck back here with Roy Honey Bunny Hyde and Ivan Jones. Richard Holland moving all the way up to the front. Making hella moves. Up 17 spots, now moves into second. About a second, almost 2 seconds behind that man right there, Andrew Wagner, who has been able to get a really impressive gap in between him and second spot. Richard's teammate right in behind. Rick Vergone has gone ahead and taken over third spot with Tommy Haynes and Jacob Daniels fourth and fifth. Looks like we might be able to do it. We're at 67 laps now. Chuck Sweeney dropping down to 15. Jacob Daniels taking a look and losing a position to, where is that, Chris Spencer and Tommy Haynes. Vern Bradley in the 14 truck, taking a look at Glenn Jameson. Now Rick Fergone going ahead and taking over Richard Holland, taking over second spot from Richard Holland, trying to chase down Andrew Wagner, who's still being able to maintain a 1.93, a gap between first and second. Go ahead and show you those intervals right now. Here's what the top drivers are running. Getting some massive gaps here. Look at this. Rick Fergone and Richard Holland able to put a 2-second gap to 4 spot. Chris Spencer. And he's got over a 2-second lead over that man right there, Tommy Haynes. So we've got some pretty large gaps as we continue on with lap 75 here out of 125. And they spread the field out. Chris Blanchard going ahead and going around Tommy Haynes. Let's go ahead and back here and take a look at the 23rd spot, Aaron Cummings. Haven't mentioned him or talked about him tonight too much. Back here in that Barry Blast. That is your race leader right there with over a 2-second lead over Richard Holland. That is what the intervals between first, second, and third. Anyway, I know we've been suffering some technical difficulties, which I have no idea why. But anyway, if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit that like button, smash it like you're mad. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and don't miss another race here at WFO Racing Network every Tuesday and Wednesday night. Join Eighmey Contracting Truck Series on Wednesday and Rig Radio Xfinity Series on Tuesday during Season 15. This is the second race of the season. And of course, we're here at Charlotte. Charlotte. Okay, Charlotte. Looks like we have Jacob Daniels down in the pit area. Roy Hyde just past Glenn Jameson. And we have a new leader. No, we don't. My bad. And Andrew Wagner's so far out there in the front, I missed him. We're in Bradley going down into pit area. John Sanu going down into the pits. And the caution is out. Let's go ahead and take a look. Or not. Ivan Jones is going to just tag that inside wall. That is bunch of people just went in there. Yellow flag is out. And there we go. Then he came back up. Well, at least we know why that we're under caution this time. All right, everybody's going to jump down into pit road, get fresh tires, full of fuel. And when we come back and go green, we will go ahead and do the autism awareness, crank it up. Sponsored by RGC Motorsports this year. Thank you to RGC and his crew. Get all these trucks lined back up. Showing Andrew Wagner and Richard Holland, Rick Fragone, Chris Spencer, in the 11, and Chris Blanchard in the number 19 or 9. Brandon Showers is going to be 6th. Steven Seeger's 7th. Nick Hunt in the 60. Going to be 8th. Travis Smith and Rylan Neese. Going to finish off your top 10 with Honey Bunny Hyde just on the outside of that top 10. $86 laps down. And the pit truck is off, and we're about to go back green. Green flag, green flag, green flag. Here we go. Let's get to crank it up on. Chris Blanchard. And we are under another caution here in Charlotte. The 16 got up on the outside wall, came back down. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Pushing Chris into that inside wall and back onto the track, bringing out yet another caution here at Charlotte. We'll go ahead and take one more look. There we go. And that looks like Steve Seegers. I couldn't tell if he got into that outside wall or if he was just shy of it and lost control, but came back down right in front of Chris Blanchard. And we're going to tighten them up and try it out again. All right, we got Andrew Wagner, Richard Holland, Chris Spencer, Brandon Showers, Rick Fergone, Nick Hunt, Ryland Neese, Travis Smith, Roy Hyde, and Brian Miskell in the top 10. With a little under 30 laps to go. Or over. Pit truck is out. We're about to go green. Green, green, green on lap 92. Here we go. Andrew Wagner getting another great jump right off the start. Richard Holland able to stick with him this time, and Brandon Showers is going to move into the third spot. Right in behind Richard Holland, and then you got Chris Spencer in the 11. Nick Hunt going to round out the top 5 as we go take a look. Back here with Dustin German in the 29. Vern Bradley in that 13 right there, or 14 and 13. Say that 10 times fast. Jesus. Is he the 14th and the 13th, or the 13th and the 14th? Driver we haven't talked about too much, staying clean tonight. Right there in the 57, Brian Miskell Jr. up 17 spots. Chris Spencer in that 11 truck right there is up 24 spots. As he gets into 4th spot, right there with Nick Hunt and behind him. Meanwhile, we got Brandon Showers going ahead and getting around Richard Holland to take over the 2nd spot tonight on lap 98. Someone that was running up front Now back here in the 15th spot, and there is Chuck Sweeney as he looks to move forward around Ivan. And then we got us another crash. And it looked like Ivan was up against the wall. Let's take a look. Ooh. Chuck had nowhere to go. And Ivan's going for a ride. No more room. There was no more room at the end. There we go. There we go. Just a couple more replays just because it's Ivan. Let's go ahead and take it from the chopper view. Oh, yeah, Chuck definitely had his position. Nowhere to go. Take a look on the in-cab there with Chuck Sweeney, in-cab view. And there we go. Now you know the rest of the story. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got to lap 100. Which means we got 25 more laps to go and about 6 more cautions. Andrew Wagner in first, Brandon Showers second, Richard Holland third, Chris Spencer fourth, and Nick Hunt rounding off your top 5 as we get ready to go green here at Charlotte. All right, pace truck is off, and we're about to go green. Green, green, green. Let's do this. Andrew Wagner getting a nice jump that he's been doing all night long. Brandon Showers on the outside, and it looks like Richard Holland is going to go down to the inside. Andrew Wagner got a really good jump, but Brandon Showers just close that gap real quick. "22 laps to go." Back here with John Sanu, Travis Smith, Glenn Jameson, Rylan Neese, all fighting for that top 10 spot. Throw in Vern Bradley, Tommy Haynes, and Wimbish, and hey, you got a race. Meanwhile, up here in front, Brandon Showers going to the outside. Richard Holland's going to tuck down into the inside. And then they thought, you know what? No, we're just going to go back the way we were. 20 laps to go here at Charlotte. Austin Wagner doing the best he can to go ahead and keep that bumper big, but Brandon Showers and Richard Holland are not going to let him get away this time. And back here we got Dustin German in the 29 and Brian Misko fighting over the 5th spot. Three wide. That's going to be Rylan Neese leading the charge with the 17 of Tommy Haynes in behind him. Chuck Sweeney, we are under caution. Go ahead and take a look at what happened here. Chuck Sweeney is going to go down and going to get, oh, see if we can get a better view. Oh, right there in front, 56 going to have to check up. And sideways they go. It's going to bring in the number 6 also, Elsie Daly. Let's go ahead and take a look at Wimbish. It's going to be the 97, I believe. Going to get loose, and then Wimbish is going to have to check up, and yep, you see it. Looks like he might have got into the back a little bit. Got him a little loose, got the 97 loose. And around we went. Chuck Sweeney hard into the outside wall. Elsie Daly into the outside wall. And we are under caution again here at Charlotte. Get them lined up. We'll stay right here. I'll be right back. All right. Lights are out on the track. We're about to go green again and try to get another race into the books. Andrew Wagner, Richard Holland, Brian Miskell, and Chris Spencer. Tommy Haynes now up in the top 5. And the truck is off, and we're about to go green. Again. Got 3 wide going into the turn, and once again, Travis Smith is going to go to the outside. And he is just gonna, ain't nobody touching him that time. 97, Travis Smith's gonna bring out a caution once again. All righty. Made it to 100 lap 115. 10 laps to go as we go green again, or when we go green again. Chris Spencer moving up into second spot, up 26 spots tonight. Lap 115. Well, if you've enjoyed what you're doing, smash that like button. And if you haven't been a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you never miss another race on Season 15. We have Rig Radio Xfinity on Tuesday and Eighmey Contracting Wicked Wednesday Truck Series. Well, I tell you what, man, as many restarts as we have, I don't know if Andrew's going to be able to hold these guys off. Andrew Wagner's going to be out in front. Pit truck is off, and we're going to go green. Chris Spencer on the outside. Richard Holland and Brian Miskell Jr. in behind him. And let's try this again. Green, green, green. Gets another wonderful jump. 8 laps to go. We got Brian Miskell and Vern Bradley as the 57 of Brian Miskell Jr. goes to the outside. The 17 is going to try to squeeze it through. This is all for top 5 right here. Chris Spencer in the 11, Richard Holland. 48 of Ryland Neese, he's going to drop down. He's going to take a look to the inside of Richard Holland. Vern Bradley able to save it as he goes to the outside of Ryland Neese. We got 6 laps to go. A little bit of bumping and grinding 3 wide. And we got the 23 getting out of shape. He's going to get up against the wall, and we're going to have it. It's going to do it. We are under yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. The 23 had bobbled. TJ Lee, where did he come in on this? We saw John Sanu and quite a few of them. Right there in the aftermath as Chuck Sweeney gets pushed down. Let's go up here to take a look at it from this angle. No, it's kind of already happened in front. Yeah, there you go. Smash that like button and you too can spin on the track. Four laps to go. Every like button spins a truck. That's what it seems like tonight. Well, we have Andrew Wagner, Chris Spencer, Richard Holland, Vern Bradley now moving it up to the 4th spot with Ryland Neese right in behind him. And Brandon Showers. That'll be your top 6. Roy Hyde, Tommy Haynes, and Rick Fergone. Glenn Jameson will round off your top 10 with 4 laps to go. Three laps to go. All right, pit truck is in. 3 laps to go. We're going to go green for 3 laps. Green flag. Richard Holland's going to get in front of Spencer. And here comes the 48 of Ryland Neese. Spencer's going to go down to the inside, or try to go down on the inside again. 2 laps to go, final lap. That switched real quick. I think the officials here just said piss on it, final lap. Somebody just get across the finish line. 48's going to tuck down in and right there, and it's going to go, and he's going to get into the back of the 11. And that's going to do it right there. That's going to do it right there. That's going to be a big crash. And your winner, Andrew Wagner. Take a look at this. 48 riding down on the line. Nowhere. Well, yep. He's going to get down in there, and he's going to get all up in that shizit. Going to get all up in that shizit. That's what happens with 3 laps or 2 laps or final lap or whatever lap. 48 gets into the 11. 11 goes around, and you can see what it is. It's just going to collect. Going to collect them. Andrew Wagner going on to win. Richard Holland coming in second. Randy Showers is going to be your 3rd place finisher right there. And look at that. Randy Showers and Brandon Showers coming to the line together. Go ahead and post the unofficial so you can see where your favorite driver finished tonight. Ender Wagner, Richard Holland, Brandon Showers, Rylan Neese. Good job on the top 5. John Sanu, Roy Hyde coming in with a top 10. Glenn Jamison, Paul Patterson in with a top 10. And Seth Steele. And we're going to get ready for, driver interviews. Next. Do. I don't know how to do elevator music. Don't know how to do the elevator music. Oh, what happened? Did everything just go mute or what? Hello. Everything just go mute? Everything just went mute. Well, my goodness. Well, my goodness. What happened? There's no sound now. That's all right. We're going to go ahead and get going on these. Andrew Wagner, where are you? How about you, Andrew? You got a copy DMS up here in the booth?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Well, do they give me a 1, 2, 3 real quick?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, there we go. Then we got you. We got you.
Perfect.
Hey, man. Hey, I would say take us through the last 30 laps, but
I know, right?
oh my goodness. So, but I will say this: I was very impressed on all the restarts there. What was your strategy? I mean, you had plenty of practice, that's for sure.
I know. So I was doing first gear, and I was pretty much just doing first gear, going really easy on it, and then, I mean, I don't really know what everyone else was doing. I would assume they were doing first gear, but the way I was shooting off, I don't know. So, but yeah, I think it was the first gear.
Well, it brings you in with a win because you were able to get a good start on every single one of those restarts.
Yeah, and I also had old tires too because I used up all my sets. That's how I got to the lead in the first place because I had better tires. And then toward the end, everyone pitted, so I thought I was gonna kind of get like engulfed, but it was complete opposite. I think the cautions helped a lot with that too. But
yeah, we weren't able to get a good stretch run going, and therefore, just kind of left you there. Just as long as you got a good restart, I mean, it pretty much sealed the win.
yeah, and the cautions definitely helped too, I think. And I know the cautions were bad tonight, but honestly, I think I was raced pretty clean for the most part. Very clean, actually. There was times I was going down the backstretch in the lead, and the guy behind me, I think it was Brandon's Showers, maybe? I don't know. But instead of, like, kind of fucking us both over, he gave me a shove down the backstretch, and, like, I really respect that because that could have really put us both in a big trouble. But, yeah, I don't know. I was raced pretty good tonight, but I don't know.
Well, anyone you want to thank for your win?
Probably the rest of the drivers for racing me nice and clean there, but I'll thank you guys for putting on the show here.
That's fantastic. All right. Well, hey, congratulations. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The 44th, number 44, Andrew Wagner, your winner tonight of the second race here at Charlotte. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's go ahead and get number 2 up here in the booth. Da booth. Well, we just talked to him last night. We're going to talk to him again. How about you, Richard? You got a copy?
I got you, DMS.
Well, hey, man, it didn't look like anybody had anything for Andrew on those restarts. I mean, he had plenty of practice with all the cautions we had.
Yeah, he was playing a little trickery there on the restarts there and kept slowing down so he could restart in first gear. And I didn't think that stuff was allowed in this league, but I guess it is. I don't know. I've been penalized for it before, but anyways, I don't know. That was It was an interesting race. I mean, we had a lot of people in here, and there's a lot of people driving over their heads, I think, and just being really aggressive and causing a lot of cautions, and it makes for some weird races and a lot
Yeah.
of pacing, and then what happens? 4, 5, 6, 7 wrecks into it. Now you got a lot of people with a lot of aggravated people, and I think
Yeah.
that's what we were seeing towards the end there, But yeah, we were fortunate. We'd used up all of our tires. I think all of us up there in the top, several were in that boat, and there were guys behind us that took tires. So fortunate for us, really, that thing probably didn't go green because, we would have gotten run over. I think them guys were way faster than us on those fresh tires. So we were fortunate enough to hang on to second, and we'll take it.
All right. Well, there you go, man. Anyone you want to thank for your second place?
I just want to thank, everybody that puts on this thing, man. I know they're dealing with a lot of stuff right now, and running the league. I've said this before. DMS is a thankless job, and it's you deal with a lot of bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunately it's a lot of times it's what cripples the league.
Yeah.
I've seen it time and time again. You know what I mean? So hopefully, Vern, he doesn't put up with a lot of shit. So he'll clean this up, and I think we'll see some good racing here as the season goes on.
Well, I sure hope so. I mean, this is uncharacteristic, and we definitely need to have something done.
Yeah, I have full confidence in the ownership here that they will they'll do what it takes to clean it up. I'm sure of it.
All right, brother. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your second place finisher, Richard Holland. Have a great night, sir.
DMS, thank you. Thanks for what you do, man. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to bring up number 3, Mr. Randy Showers, and we got to find him. Yeah, it's how about you, Randy? You got a copy, DMS here in the booth.
Da-da-da-da. How about that finish, huh? How about that? You like that?
How about that, huh? You and Brandon, man. I mean, Brandon was giving it, trying to get it.
Yeah.
And you came
I
in
think
and swooped it away.
oh yeah, oh yeah. He was asking me earlier if he should pit or not. I think it was like maybe 15 laps to go, and I told him, I said I would if I was you, and he said he regrets it. He should have stayed out, but but I was down 3 laps, came back, and finished third.
There you go. Yep. I mean, it's so hard to tell because especially in this league, normally we don't have as many cautions as we have, especially at a track like Charlotte.
Now,
And
there's
it, I just, I mean, that helped out a lot.
there's a lot of new guys in here, and it's a lot of guys in here, and I understand why there's a lot of guys here. It's a great league, but like I said, they'll hash everything out, and the racing will get a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%, man. Anyone you want to thank for your podium tonight?
Um, those guys the 11 guys that were in front of me there. Thanks for the third.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your third place finisher tonight, the number 21, up 22 spots, by the way.
Oh yeah, hammer down, baby.
Down 3 and up 22 to finish third. Randy Showers, congratulations, sir.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Have a good one. Okay.
You too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude our episode here at Charlotte. Race number 2 in season 15. Going to have some good nights and some bad nights. And tonight, well, hey, if you're in the top 3, I guess it wasn't such a bad night. Anyway, on behalf of WFO Racing Network, I'm Deadman Strolin. We will see you again next week. God bless and be safe. We out of here.